Imagine waking up in someone else's body. The body of a lethal Japanese assassin, to be specific. Your mind, her face, her skills and body, and the entire Marvel universe just rolls with it like nothing happened at all. That's precisely what happened to Betsy Braddock, the original Psylocke. Here's the part that still blows minds in 2026. This insane body swap saga didn't come from a master plan. It happened because of a real world mix-up at Marvel Comics. Chris Claremont started one thing, got let go mid-story. The next writer, Fabian Nicieza, skimmed through the issues, assumed it was a body swap with a separate person, and then boom, decades of continuity chaos. Stick around, because I'm revealing who the real Psylocke is today, and why this one real-world comic mistake still divides fans decades later. Let's dive in to the psychic fever dream of Psylocke. Comics and powered by the Red 5 Network. For more, visit red5.bio.link. Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Danny Sansasi, and today is Comics and Cosmetics, which means I'm breaking down one of your nerdy favorites while doing my makeup at the same time. But don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with all the girly makeup details. It's just something I'm doing with my hands while I'm educating you on all the nerdy goodness on Psylocke. But if you are interested in the products that I am using today, look no further than the description below. I've done all the hard work for you. Also, and I cannot stress this enough, comics have been around a long time. They are complicated and oftentimes they get convoluted. So these breakdowns are pretty much Cliff Notes. If you would like the full story, I highly recommend you read the comics. Make sure you've hit the like button, subscribed if you're new, and ring that notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with any more of this nerdy nonsense. Let's dive right into this, shall we? All right, let's start from the absolute beginning. Betsy Braddock first appeared in Captain Britain #8 in December of 1976, created by Chris Claremont and Herb Trimpe. She's the twin sister of Brian Braddock, that is Captain Britain, and the younger sister of Jamie Braddock. Now, Betsy and Jamie are both mutants, but Brian isn't. Brian actually had his powers given to him by Merlin through a magic amulet, actually. Their family at Braddock Manor is pretty rich, and they have some pretty wild ties to the realm of Otherworld. After their parents died in a mysterious explosion, Betsy started her adult life off working as a charter pilot. You're a super wealthy heiress, but you want to be an air taxi driver. Seems legit. Why not? She flew planes while her latent mutant powers, starting as precognitive dreams, just began to stir. But her life wasn't all flying. There was lots of trauma, too. She got pulled into insane situations relatively early, like being mind controlled by Dr. Sign, taken hostage by agents of the Red Skull, and even briefly stepping in as Captain Britain when her brother Brian disappeared. She eventually quit piloting, went into modeling, And that's when she decided to go for a bold style choice and colored her naturally blonde hair a vibrant purple, which you can see for the first time in the Daredevil's #3 back in March of 1983. Her psychic powers kept growing. She joins Strike's Psi Division, which is basically the UK's SHIELD. It stands for Special Tactical Reserve for International Key Emergencies. But she would use her modeling gigs as the perfect cover. She got brutally blinded by the villain Slaymaster during that time and had to rely on her telepathy to see. She gets engaged to a fellow agent. He dies. Told you, more trauma. While recuperating in the Swiss Alps, Betsy gets kidnapped by Mojo and Spiral. If you don't know who Mojo is, I love Mojo. Mojo is this hideous alien who looks like an emo cyberpunk Jabba the Hutt, who his entire planet is like a reality TV station, and that's his whole thing, is entertainment. He kidnaps people, heroes, mutants, and forces them into these weird situations, we'll call them, for his entertainment. And like I said, he's so gross and weird, and he has some pretty amazing storylines. What can I say? I love Mojo. As I said, Mojo and Spiral kidnap Betsy. Poor Betsy. She's had a rough go, man, already. They give her bionic eyes. They brainwash her, as Mojo is known to do, and force her to star in Mojo's twisted TV shows meant to trap children. And that is where we see her called Psylocke for the first time. Mojo is the one who named her Psylocke for his sick TV show to trap children. Fun. Now that's a thing you know. This was in New Mutants Annual #2 in 1986. The New Mutants storm the Mojoverse to rescue their captured teammates. They free Betsy, and then she decides to stay at Xavier's school because her powers are clearly mutant in nature. Not long after, during the Morlock massacre, she stays behind to help the wounded while staying in telepathic contact with the team. When Sabretooth rampages through the mansion, blind Betsy actually throws hands with him and holds her own. Like, not bad. The X-Men are so impressed by her courage, they offer her a permanent spot on the team. She accepts the invitation and chooses to keep the code name Psylocke permanently. Now I know what you're thinking. Why on earth would she want to keep the name that her kidnapper gave her after torturing her, brainwashing her, and using her to trap the X-Men and turn them into babies? Maybe she's taking it back. I mean, I can kind of see it. I can see both sides. Like, I've been called some pretty nasty names in my day, you could possibly believe it. And I could see wanting to take ownership of that and take the power away from it. So maybe that's what they were doing. That's what I choose to believe. Anyway, how about you? Leave it in the comments below. Early Betsy was still very much a polished British psychic, very proper, a strong telepath, but very proper British. She was nowhere near the ninja assassin that we would come to know later. We'll get there. And then 1989 happened. How did a British pilot model turn into one of the deadliest ninja assassins in the Marvel Universe? And how does it all stem from a real-world editorial misunderstanding at Marvel Comics? To understand how Betsy ended up in the hands of the Hand, we have to go back to one of the wildest X-Men escape plans ever, the Siege Perilous. This mystical artifact, basically a cosmic gem and gateway, grants you a new life, a fresh start, often with altered memories and or bodies. After a brutal battle where Betsy had a terrifying precognitive vision that the entire team was going to die at the hands of the Reavers, she psychically insisted the surviving X-Men use the Siege Perilous to escape certain death. She uses telepathy to force and persuade them to go through it. They step through, and it scattered them across new lives with wiped or altered memories. Betsy basically dismantled the X-Men entirely in one fell swoop. For Betsy, that plan failed spectacularly. And the X-Men, I'd have to say. She emerges an amnesiac in the South China Sea. She's captured by the Hand and their leader, Matsuo Surayaba, with tech from Mojo, of course, that little performed a full mind and body swap with Kwannon, a ruthless Hand assassin in a coma. Betsy's mind wakes up in Kwannon's East Asian body, brainwashed as Lady Mandarin. When she broke free with Wolverine's help, she kept the body, mastered the ninja skills thanks to muscle memory, developed the iconic psychic knives, and even kept and enhanced her telepathy. Interestingly, the X-Men didn't seem in too big of a hurry to fix Betsy's swapped situation. They just welcomed the new ninja version back almost immediately and made little effort to reverse it. Just kind of went home with her like this for, 29 years. No big whoop. Totally normal. For 29 years, this purple-haired badass was the Psylocke everyone knew. Jim Lee's design was a massive, massive hit. I was a big fan. Listen, she looked hot, okay? Tell me you don't look at Psylocke in that costume and don't think, damn, hot. You're a liar. You'd be a liar. Total liar. Chris Claremont said it was originally meant to be temporary, but fans and the new creative team loved it. So Marvel kept her that way. But here's the real kicker, the big real world misunderstanding. Claremont's original scene was more of a cosmetic transformation, like body shop type stuff via spiral, not a clean swap with an entire separate person. Claremont got let go mid-arc. Fabian Nicieza gets his shot to step in and take over, and just kind of went and skimmed through some stuff and just assumed that it was an unfinished body swap arc. So he goes and creates Kwannon and introduces her as a fully separate character in 1993 to, fix the continuity, and accidentally created one of the most tangled identity stories in comics. Oops. There was, no real internet back then to fact check, I guess. The mistake stuck and snowballed. But what happened next to Kwannon? 3 years after Psylocke, in the body of Kwannon, the ninja assassin, joins the X-Men, a mysterious woman shows up at the mansion door. When she drops her hood from her cloak, she reveals that she is Betsy's original British body. She claims that she is Betsy in body and soul. and she calls herself Revanche, which is pretty apropos considering that revanche is French for revenge, but not just any type of revenge. It's the type of revenge you seek when you want to regain lost property, when you want to get back that which was stolen from you. Revanche joins the team amid massive tension and confusion. I mean, obviously. She eventually contracts the legacy virus. As she's dying, her power spikes and she transfers memories and finally confirms the full truth of the body swap. Decades later, in the Hunt for Wolverine event, both women are restored to their original bodies. Betsy, back as a British telepath, eventually takes up her brother's mantle as Captain Britain, which opens up a whole new level of chaos because the Captain Britain lore is ridiculously overcomplicated. We're talking multiversal guardians, the Captain Britain Corps, hundreds of alternate reality captains protecting the omniverse from Otherworld, Merlin and his daughter Roma pulling strings across realities, endless Otherworld roars, reality warping threats, and mystical amulets that choose worthy champions. It's like Arthurian legend crossed with quantum physics and endless family drama. Like, seriously, you thought your family was complicated? Betsy earns the role during major otherworld crises, especially after her brother Brian gets corrupted by Morgan Le Fay. She claims the Amulet of Right, gains super strength, flight, and durability on top of her power. She leads Excalibur. She becomes one of the prime champions of the Captain Britain Corps. It's a perfect evolution for her. From psychic spy to ninja to mystical knight protecting untold realities. Kwannon, on the other hand, claims the Psylocke codename and steps into the spotlight with her own stories. Two distinct legacies and one continuity misunderstanding. What are you going to do? So after all of that, who is the real Psylocke in 2026? In all seriousness, turning a white British lady into an East Asian ninja has been criticized as stereotypical dragon lady fetishization. Claremont intended for it to be temporary. Fans and Jim Lee's super dope design made it permanent. The 1993 Kwannon retcon helped by giving both women separate stories and agency, but the debate still rages on. Product of its time, retconned enough? Drop your honest take. I want to see your comments. I want to see what you think. Let's talk powers and why she's an absolute monster. Betsy is insanely versatile. Of course, there's the telepathy, mind reading, illusion control, astral projection, and the lethal psychic knives. Post-swap, she had, of course, mastery over her ninja skills. Later, she had the psychic katanas, flight, force fields, Crimson Dawn shadow powers, of course. And then things we didn't really get a chance to get into, Jamie's reality anchoring magic psychic immunity stuff as Captain Britain, her super strength, flight, durability. She's a burgeoning Omega level telepath who's fought at the highest levels. Now, what are some of her wildest story arcs and craziest moments? First, the craziest has got to be having to stab her brother Jamie in the brain to stop his reality warping rampage. Yeah, had to stab her brother in the brain to stop it. Then there's her Crimson Dawn shadowy phase. Good times. Her exile's romance with heroic alternate version of Sabretooth. She was an assassin and X-Force leader addicted to killing. Of course, her multiple deaths and resurrections, becoming Captain Britain, leading Excalibur, other world wars, and her Krakoan era body restoration. Highly recommend. So, who is Psylocke in 2026? Both of them. Betsy earned the name first and forged a new path as Captain Britain. Kwannon fought through identity erasure and claimed it as her own, all because of one real-world misunderstanding at Marvel that accidentally created one of the most fascinating identity stories in all of comics. Comment Psylocke Part 2 for more of Kwannon's story, or Captain Britain Corps, etc. for more on that. You know the drill. If you like the content I'm making, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe if you are new, and ring that notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more of this nerdy nonsense. Thank you so much for staying till the end. That gives you legend status. Did you know that? Until next time, I've been Danny, you've been awesome, and I will see you in the next breakdown. Bye.
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you!